Hello. I think I need a name for my This Is Not a Comedy videos, because I start all my non-comedy videos with This Is Not a Comedy, and I need a generic name for them. So if you've got any ideas that are good, please send them to me. Okay, so This Is Not a Comedy. This is my idea that I thought about off the back of when I went up to visit my old congregation, and what prompted me to have this idea was that the elder up there seemed very keen on disfellowshipping me again, the same as the brother in Gloucester did, the elder in Gloucester did, and I've got a sneaky feeling that they won't disfellowship me, but I don't know why. I've got that feeling. Anyway, this is the idea that I had. Now, I don't usually like to do videos until I've done the thing and found out if it works or not. So I'm putting it out there. I genuinely don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try it and see. So what I'm going to do, what I've started to do already, is write to every one of the 3 congregations that I've attended in my life and to the branch office in London, which they call Bethel. Why is it called Bethel and the branch office? Why can't they just pick a name for it? Anyway, so I'm going to write to all those 4 places, and I have asked for any information that they hold on me to be released to me, and this is under the Data Protection Act 1998 section 7, and the law says that anyone who holds data on you in a professional capacity, not somebody's address book, and it specifically mentions that in the act, so it doesn't apply to a personal individual with an address book, for instance, but any organisation or group, not just public bodies, anybody, anyone holding written or electronic data on you, you can request to see what that data is. And if it's incorrect, or if there's something the matter with that data, you have the right to request that information be corrected or destroyed. Okay? And you also have a right to require that data is not used in any way that may potentially cause damage or distress. Well, as far as I can see, the way that Jehovah's Witnesses use their data to cause damage and distress is by disfellowshipping people. And here's my thought on this. If I don't exist to an organisation, it's because they don't have any data on me. For instance, I've never been a member or an associate or connected at all with any political party. So, for instance, the Conservative Party in Gloucester couldn't kick me out because I was never in. They don't hold any information on me, do they? They've got no records about me whatsoever, and therefore I don't fall within their remit of punishments. So my idea is this, that if I write to all the congregations and the branch office, or Bethel, whichever one you'd like to call it, and ask for any data that's held on me, my bet is that they won't give that out. And one of the reasons I'm betting that is because I remember, I know this is a long time ago, I accept that, but about 15 or 16 years ago, I remember being at my cousin's house, and he's an elder and he was an elder then. And while I was there, he answered the phone, and from the gist of the very long conversation that ensued, I gathered that it was a brother at the other end of the phone asking to see his publisher records. And my cousin was defending why he wasn't allowed to do that. And this person, whoever it was continued to push and push and push. And my cousin, who was very, very polite and nice, in the end just had to put his foot down and say, "I'm sorry, you can't see them. You cannot see them. We just don't do that." This conversation went on for, I'd say, almost an hour, and the upshot was that this baptised brother was not allowed to see his publisher records. So I'm taking a bit of a gamble here. I am gambling that they will not give me any information on myself. Now, there's 2 reasons they might not do that. I've been left the witnesses for a long time, so they might write back and say, "We have no records on you at all. They've all been destroyed." In which case, bingo, they can't disfellowship me. If I'm not in, I can't be kicked out. If they've got no records on me at all, I don't exist to them, and therefore they can't disfellowship me, and I shall happily write back and inform them of that. The other reason they might not give me the records is this: they've got them, but they won't give me them, in the same situation that my cousin had the records on this brother but wouldn't let him see them. Well, if they write back and say that, that you're not allowed to see them. Bingo, I've got them. I can write to the Charities Commission, who are currently investigating them, and say that this charitable body, who receives millions of pounds worth of money from the public purse, is breaking the Data Protection Act 1998. And I'm convinced that breaking the law is not something that a charitable organisation can do and keep their charitable status. Now, the third option is that they could just not answer at all, okay? We know they've got records on me. We know they don't want to give them, but they might just not reply at all. Well, the Data Protection Act 1998 says that they have 40 days with which to respond, okay? They can make a small fee, so they could write back to me and say, we can charge you £10, which is fine. They can't charge more than £50, and I think £50 is only for access to medical records. If it's an individual access to records case, there's a sliding scale that goes up to about £10. Well, that's fine. So I can write back and send them the £10 if they do that. I don't think they will. But if they do that, and they have 40 days from the time that they have received my fee. And if they don't respond or give me the records or let me know why they haven't given me the records, I then have the right to report the information to the Information Commissioner's Office, and of course to report it to the Charities Commission, who are giving them charitable status. So I think this is quite an interesting situation here, and I'll be really interested to see how it pans out, because if they don't give me the information for whatever reason, okay, if they don't have it, if they've destroyed it all, then I can't be disfellowshipped. There's a beautiful get out clause for lots of people who are in a situation where they've got family still Jehovah's Witnesses and don't want to be disfellowshipped. I know realistically they'll still shun you, but you know, sometimes it's nice to win a Pyrrhic victory, isn't it? The other situation is if they do have the records but they won't let you have them, well then you can report them to the Information Commissioner's Office and to the Charities Commission, and that investigation is ongoing. And you know, seriously, we should be looking at bodies that receive lots of public money in terms of not having to pay tax and VAT and corporation tax and all the rest of it. They're receiving all that concession for what? For blatantly breaking the law. So that's what I'm going to do. I know 40 days is a long time, so I've sent those letters off today. And so I suppose it's going to be kind of mid-February when we hear or don't hear back from them. But I'm quite interested to see how this is going to pan out, and I think it might be something that could be replicated with other people. So I will keep you informed. Thank you for listening.